Baker.
Here.
Member Haas.
Here.
Member Lynn.
Here.
City Administrator Giffen.
Here.
City Attorney Edge.
Here.
All rise for prayer and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, if anyone would like to address council, go up to the podium with your name, your address, and then you can speak. Mark?
Good afternoon, or evening. It's been about 40 years since I've attended.
Name, address.
I'm sorry, Bob Stevie. I'm a resident of Cincinnati, White Oak, over on the northwestern side of the city. It's been about 40 years since I've attended a Dayton City Council meeting. Two of the council members are students, former students of mine, a long time ago. I may have taken you to some council meetings. One friend, Jeff Haas, who I worked with in Tall Stacks in 2003, and two people I helped campaign for, Virgil, back in the 70s, and then his father, Gil. We've got some papers, you know, teachers always have papers, and don't worry, there's no homework.
So we had a
and
test,
no,
Virgil.
no test at the end of the meeting. So I wanted to come here with a special request, and it was in October of this year that we lost a good friend. The city of Dayton lost a good friend. Back when I was teaching in '69, there was one student in my class here at Dayton High School that said, "We are never going to get a flood wall." The flood wall had been approved in 1938 after the 37 flood. And the funding was never appropriated. So I kept thinking there's got to be a way, there's got to be a way. And by luck, I wound up working for U.S. Senator Walter D. Huddleston. Well, the senator died this year, just in October. He was not one that was interested in having things named after him. He was not one that was showy or anything else. But I think that in recognition of his service to this community, that I would like to ask that you consider naming the flood wall for Senator Huddleston and also Congressman Gene Snyder. You can probably tell I was a Democrat, and I am still follow a lot of what the Democratic Party does, but Gene Snyder also did a lot of good stuff with this city. So I think in the interest of having a balanced approach, that it be named for the Republican Congressman and the Democratic U.S. Senator. So it's a real simple request. I ask that the Dayton flood wall be named the Huddleston-Snyder flood wall. And if you want to start a committee to do that, that would be great. It's going to take a letter to the Army Corps of Engineers District Office in Louisville. I've already called those people, and they said, well, you know, it may take an act of Congress. And I had been talking with Bill Burns. He said, well, you know, it took an act of Congress to get that flood wall built. So why not just follow through? I said, it'll take just a few more phone calls. So, again, there's a long history of all the efforts. I'm pleased to see that Mr. Garzel's business has been converted into a history museum. I have lots of things to give to them. There's just a few of them that I've handed out to you this evening. So I appreciate your thought on this. I asked Bill Donnemeyer to come here this evening, former state representative. He worked on this project with Dee. He was the chair for Dee Huddleston's campaign in 72, Bill?
Yes.
And I was the co-chair, so it was, that's the request. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Steve, appreciate it.
I just want to tell you, thank you for the sheet. I don't know if you realize this, he was my American history teacher. What year was this from? He gave me the classroom chart that when I was in his class back in. I don't even remember some of these names of it, so.
Doesn't show your grade, does it?
Yeah, I call him Bob, but I call him Mr. Stevie back then, so.
I think it was 1969.
American history. You started me on my road to where I'm supposed to be right now.
I couldn't find yours, Jeff, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I keep telling him I went to the last homework assignment, he didn't pass.
I didn't pass that homework assignment.
Does anybody want to look into this? Danny? You want to be on the committee, look into this thing?
Yeah, sure.
You guys, do it up?
Sure.
Yep, okay, there's your committee.
Okay.
Anyone else? Art?
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Hey, I'm Mark Stark. I live at 525 Manhattan Boulevard in the new section down there. And I made a mistake one day in one of my mailbox, opening it, and there was my tax bill. Now, the first tax bill I got was $7,500 from the city. I thought, well, that doesn't sound too awful ugly. About 2 weeks later, I got another tax bill for another $24,198, which puts me up to around $33,000 a year. Don't you think, boys, I need a little help here?
Well, if you were,
I mean,
okay-
this is outrageous.
if you were okay with that $7,500, that's all we're involved in.
No. I thought that was the total bill there, the total bill.
No, we're not on with the county. We're not on, we're not.
What can be done? I mean, something has to be done.
It sounds
We'll
like-
never get this sold down here, or never get into happening with the tax. I mean, it's $2,700 a month.
I don't know, I talked with Paul this afternoon, I don't know if you had a chance to talk to him.
Yes.
I suggested that the three of us meet with the school, Jay Brewer specifically, since the tax bill that you're referring to is a school tax bill.
Well, that's
Set by
part of
the
it.
school board.
The school tax alone was like $17,000. $700.
So my thought was, the four of us to get together.
It's more than just that. I think we need to hire somebody or do something different in the tax structure different. I don't care, this is wrong. I mean, you can't charge this kind of money.
The city itself cannot control what the school board does.
I understand
It's a separate
that, but it has to
government
start somewhere. We can't just
Well, I understand, but
lay
I'm
it
just
all on
saying
them.
that
It's
I-
gotta be everybody together who works together.
Well, that's
Even if
fine.
it includes Bellevue, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Mike will sit down with you, like you said, and the superintendent of the schools, but as far as ours, our tax bill, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not really.
Well, everybody says that, Mayor, it is what it is. What it is to me is $32,000 a year.
Right,
I
but
mean, that's,
our portion was only $7,500.
but mine's $32,000.
You know, Mark, let me give you a little perspective on the school situation, since I'm familiar with it. And over the past probably 4 to 5 years, all school systems in the state of Kentucky have been cut, and cut, and cut, and cut. And also, the SEEK formula, which is the formula the state uses to fund the public school systems, a lot of people think, well, we're getting all this new development, and they're getting all this new tax money. But as the school takes in new tax dollars, the state cuts a portion of their SEEK funding to balance that out. So they don't get all that new tax revenue that comes in. So you're right about one thing, the way they tax, the way they support the funding of the schools is antiquated and needs to be looked at.
Right.
But, to go to them and say, you gotta reduce your taxes, if they reduce their taxes, we won't have a school system, we'll be out of business.
but the way it's funded is antiquated.
Well, you know, isn't it, I mean, I'm just looking from on top of the hill, looking, and like their football team, and there's not hardly enough kids to play football anymore. I mean, it seems like, I'm not Bellevue, Dayton, I don't know why they couldn't have one school district, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but
I mean, why don't we have one super school versus all this bullshit? And the taxes couldn't get it.
You're not wrong there.
Shit, where you go to school?
You're not wrong there,
How
consolidation.
do you put kids through college for what I'm paying? It's crazy, 17,000 for the kids. It's not right. Something's gotta be done.
I agree with you, you could put a kid through college at that rate.
I can't afford to live here.
Sure you can. Who you
No, I
Yeah.
can't.
Anyone else like to address council? Tammy?
Tammy Cornett.
I think I did what I should.
Follow up to the broadband issue. I don't know if everybody knows, but I have a Facebook page on Dayton, Kentucky, I think it's Dayton, Kentucky history, or history of Dayton, Kentucky, and I have a whole folder of photos and newspaper articles about the flood wall from the 70s up to now. And I'll go in and I'll look for some more, so we can, if you want to look at those newspaper clippings and to research it, and I'd be glad to help, so anybody wants to. I just want to say that we had our Light Up Dayton this past Sunday. We gave away 325 toys, 325 kids came through, and we served 400 meals. So it was a very successful day. It was really nicely organized. Jessica Lovin's charity this time, and she did all the decorating, and everything went very smoothly, and she plans to take over on the Civic Club. So having said that, that was my kind of last hurrah, and I want to thank Virgil and this council for allowing me to run these events for the last 4 years. I love doing it. I don't want to stop. I will continue to help Jessica for the next couple of years till she gets it down pat, and I'll be involved with her. Any questions?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Excellent job.
Very nice,
Thank
very
you.
nice event. Thank you.
Anyone else like to address council?
Just for a moment. Hey everyone, my name is Michael Reinheimer. I'm not a resident of the city, but I do own some property and I do own some businesses in the city. And that's what I'd like to say. I think maybe some of you guys know who I am. I own Aerial Intelligence Services in the Ranger building down here. I custom build big giant drones and UAVs for police forces and fire departments and municipalities. And I'd like to invite you guys down to come look at the business and answer any questions or give you a demonstration, especially to the fire department, the police departments, for the capabilities of stuff I'm building.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Let's move on. Mayor's report. Approval of minutes from the October 2nd, 2018 Dayton City Council meeting. Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from October 2nd, 2018.
Motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Jenny. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. That's all I got. Well, no, I got a few more things I'm gonna bring up. I might as well do it here so at the end. The next council meeting will be on a Wednesday. It'll be the first Wednesday of the month of January, which is the 2nd. Because the holiday falls, Tuesday is on the 1st. So we're gonna do the 2nd for that meeting. So everybody knows. And it says we're on Wednesday. We don't have to make a motion or anything like that. You can do it to the next day, you know, all on holiday. And then also, I'd like to take this time to thank the council for working with me for the last 4 years. And then I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas from me and the council, and have a Happy New Year. And that's all I got. Michael?
3 things, I'll try to breeze through it here. First, we received 3 bids for Riverfront Commons Phase 1 construction. The low bid was from Pruis Construction at $452,289. Pruis is a great construction firm, very reputable. They most recently completed the Route 9 project in Newport. I would like to ask for a motion to accept their bid, $452,290. and allow the mayor to enter into a contract for construction.
Need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid for the Riverfront Commons Phase 1 with Pros Construction.
Motion by Ben,
Second.
second by Jeff. Any comments?
Just one, I just got a question for Michael. There's a significant difference between the three bids.
Yep.
So I was wondering, is there anything in your mind that really is an issue with that?
No, because it's pretty simple. There was 3 categories: paving, roadway, and then demo and mobilization. And each category had specific line items, and they had to price each line item. So it was really up to them to figure out where they wanted to cut their margins, and that's really what it came down to.
Michael, I just want to make something note, something that when I talked to you before the meeting, because I always question the same thing, Jeff. But that Pros Construction, you had told me that, made me a little bit more, feel a little better, that they just did the Route 9 project for the state of Kentucky, right? So I'm a little bit, I feel a little bit better now, what you just told me.
Yeah, they've worked with KYTC, which is a big proponent of this project, and we have to work through, so they're very familiar with the ins and outs of that.
Anyone else have any comments? Donna, roll call, please.
Member Haas?
Aye.
Member Lynn?
Aye.
Member Volker?
Aye.
Member Byrne?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Baker?
Aye.
So ordered.
Second thing is for the 2018 fall paving. There were 2 issues that came up on Rose Drive that were unforeseen in the bidding process. They had to do with some failures of the section of the road when they were being milled, and then some curb work issues. The total of that came to $9,735.30. I'd like to make ask for a motion, to extend the paving amount $9,735.30 from the municipal aid account.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Bill, second by Jeff. Any comments?
Yes, one.
Go ahead.
My understanding is that Bluegrass just bought that concrete farm that they're working with now. And next time that we look at them, possibly, we might really want to look hard because they are not the greatest.
Yeah, this is the first time we've used it for concrete, but the whole process, asphalt included, has left a lot to be desired this time around.
Yeah, because I know like there's a big patch like right in front of my house where they did the curb. They actually left the concrete so high that the blacktop is very thin there and it's got a crack and you can tell probably within a year or 2 it's going to be shipping.
We're still looking at those issues and we're still talking to them about it, but it was a rough experience. We've used Bluegrass for a long time, and this was.
Well, yeah, I know, as far as paving, I don't think we've ever had a problem with it until we start throwing some concrete, and then I don't know what our paving issues you had with them.
It was just a lot of delaying, and the weather wasn't great, but,
We also got a puddling issue down around Dayton Pike.
they tried to skirt some things. We had to keep an eye on them. It wasn't the service that we had typically are accustomed to.
Now, are they the ones that are scheduled to do the park area,
Yep.
the same concrete people? I suggest we keep a close eye.
They are going to pour the concrete. We're hoping in the next couple of weeks, so we're going to keep an eye on it.
That was all part of the same contract?
Yep.
So, Mike, that's gonna happen in a week or so, if the weather allows?
In a week or so, they are going to try to get to the concrete apron of the parking lot.
Okay. Anyone else? Roll call.
Member Lynn?
Aye.
Member Volker?
Aye.
Member Byrne?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Baker?
Aye.
Member Haas?
Aye.
So ordered.
The last thing I have there, back in October, I was asked to look into some issues that were presented by Mrs. Carr from 304 6th Avenue in relation to public nuisance and how it relates to our public nuisance ordinance. I gave everybody a copy of the brief report. I'm just going to skip to the conclusion, and if you all have any questions, you can ask me. But after extensive review, dating back to January 2016, 304 6th Avenue has not met any of the conditions necessary to be considered a nuisance property. Many of the major drug issues that had occurred before the current version of the nuisance ordinance was passed in December 2016, therefore not qualifying the site as a nuisance property at the time. The city did respond to other issues at the site during this time period and issued several letters of notice that led to ensuing citations. Finally, the city is continuing to monitor the site for issues most notably related to the denial of the request to expand the property's use back in October was denied by the Board of Adjustment. So I'll expand a little bit more on that in summary. I don't know if you'll have a chance to review it. If you have any questions, let me know, or if you get some time and review it in the next couple of days, you can reach out to me as well.
Anybody got any questions? No? No? Okay.
And that's all I have now, unless anybody has any questions for me.
City attorney's report. Thank you, Mike.
Nothing to report.
Department head, Donna?
No, everybody gets a copy of financial. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Chief Adhill? Chief Atkins?
You all got my report, I don't have a whole lot to add. We are full staff, and everybody is working out well, getting them all trained and up to speed on all of our SOGs and policies and apparatus. I do want to say thank you to Mayor Rusky and to Mayor-elect Baker and to Councilman Haas for everything you all have done the last few months, supporting me and supporting the department and everything's going on. Thank you for all your service, and I want to look forward to working with you all in the future. So that's all I have.
Hey, Chief, how's the new young people working out?
I'm sorry?
How's your new young recruits working out?
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
I've got six guys that I'm very pleased with, so.
I know, when I was down there for the swearing in, I noticed a couple of them was from Dayton, so.
Yes.
I want to compliment you on that, hiring from within the city.
Sure.
Because they have some history, so I compliment you on that, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Officer Lyles?
Mayor, Council, you'll have my report. If you have any questions, just a brief summarize. There was 59 letters written for the month of November. 45 of those were violation letters, 12 were citations, and 2 were invoices for grass cutting. And there were also 41 cases that were closed for the month of November. That's pretty much all I have.
Anyone have any questions for Phil? Thank you.
Thank you.
Economic Development? Mr. Yoder?
Well, covered my report. Rehab, so you can just go down the street. I think the big story what's going on right now on the rehabs we going on at 201, 6th Avenue, 301, and 620. I've got 3 more, 604, 508, and 825. That's the old gas station. That is under contract again with new owners, and I'm working with that. It's still moving forward. I'm meeting with, currently talking with 2 developers who's going to buy more property along the street. So things are going well. Just looking at an update, the Land Water Conservation Fund grant should be out this week, be available. I'm looking at probably trying for Sergeant Park, maybe the 3rd time's the charge for that one. It won't be due until March, but it's good. Give you a heads up that I know that's coming out. Little college, some of the smaller projects we've done since we moved that last. Got the chess tables in Gilliland Park. Got the sidewalk up to the Lee walkway. That was really good. And lastly, I wrote an article on residential, the residential programs we have, like property tax moratorium, multifamily conversion, and parking pad things. So that is going to be in the Dayton Community News this month. So see that. We'll put it also on the website and stuff. So just want to get some stuff about that. That's all I've got. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question, Bob.
Yep.
You said renovation is in progress on 201, 301, 620. I know what those are. The 604 and 508, 825, you say 825 was the old gas station, by Father's gas station?
Nelson Ball's place, next to the city building, is 508. He's doing some work in there. Getting ready to do a CCAP application. Restrooms. One of his spaces doesn't have restrooms or heat, so he's working on that. So one side of that building he uses, he has a gospel ensemble that they use for practicing. And I've been working with Nelson for the past couple months to get the other side opened up. So he's probably right after the first year, he's getting everything lined up for that. 604 is the green building across from Purple Kool-Aid. The kitchen flooring's in there. You may have noticed they have replaced the sidewalk along the west side of the building already.
Right.
And getting ready and cleaning it up, so I expect to see something from them pretty soon too, so. Right now, we don't have any spaces for rent. We've got a couple for sale. 526 next to the city building, that one went up on for sale this month, and I've already gotten calls on that, so. Things are still moving forward and at a really busy pace.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Any correspondence?
Yes, sir.
Any petitions? Any unfinished business?
Just want to take this opportunity to thank Jeff and you, Virgil, for your service in the city over the past several years, and wish you guys all the luck in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I kind of want to echo that. Virgil, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Jeff as well. You guys are great stewards of the city.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work and look forward to working with you in the future.
Any new business?
I have two.
Go ahead.
Michael, I think you know what I'm going to ask you, but on several occasions, I've been in your office and asked about the streets of Thornton and Vine Street, where our illustrious partners, the railroad department, have done a horrendous, terrible job for the citizens of Dayton. They're not coming back. I would request that our city workers at least take some blowers and brooms up there to clean the streets up on Thornton, on both sides of the street and Vine Street, because the railroad did a terrible job. Terrible job. I don't care if anybody knows, I have problems with the railroad, water, and sanitation.
With that in vain, Michael, are we gonna?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a
Feet to
while.
fire?
It's been a while. I've been going back and forth, and they don't seem to be doing anything. So if everybody's okay with it, I will. We'll get public works up there and do what we can. Now, we can't fix the patchiness of the road, but we'll do what we can to clean up the area.
What's the, Mr. Attorney, what's the odds of fining the railroad? Just to put them on notice if it's almost like a blighted situation.
There's possibility, it just depends on whether, we can find a specific attributable thing on their property that's in violation of the code. I guess the idea would be is that we'd have Mr. Laws take a look at it and, see if he sees any violations. If he does, it's, he can cite them.
Yeah,
Put them on notice and eventually cite them.
But they act like a little kingdom within themselves.
They do.
I mean, it's hard to deal with.
Yeah, no, that's.
They actually left railroad ties on our sidewalk at one time, and they did come back and move the railroad ties, but they don't think about cleaning up their trash.
Actually, I think we cleaned up the railroad ties.
I have one other thing, Mayor. In the years past, I don't know if I brought this up, but in the years past, we gave all the employees bonuses. I don't know if it's going to be approved this year. If it is,
We can take a motion. There was $100.
I'm making a motion right now. We give all the employees a bonus of $100.
A motion, need a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Ben. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Is that it? Is that all you got, Bill?
Yes.
Anyone else have any new business? All right, at this time, we're going to executive session.
And ask for a executive session in accordance with 61810, subsection B, or subsection C for possible litigation, and subsection G for discussions concerning proposals involving the public agency.
We're like looking at doing stuff with drones, one of our guys.
Come back in.
I'd like to make a motion that we leave executive session, return to open session.
Motion by Ben.
Second.
Second by Jeff. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
I'd ask for a motion from council on approval of 2018 municipal order amending the policies and procedures of the Commercial Community Advantage Program to correct the Scrivener's error and the policies and procedures previously adopted in 2018, number 5R.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Yeah. Bill, any comments? Done, roll call.
Member Bolter?
Aye.
Member Burns?
Aye.
Member Neary?
Aye.
Member Baker?
Aye.
Member Haas?
Aye.
Member Lynn?
So ordered. Need a motion to, for adjournment?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
So ordered.